Hello and welcome back to my latest video for Dying Light. I am your host, the Mad Panther, and still trying to fight my way through the tunnel here. I think I'm kind of underpowered, so what I'm going to try to do is after I beat this zombie, I'm going to go ahead, or runner rather, not zombie, but runner, which is what these are called. They're smarter than your average zombie. These guys will follow you and chase you down, whereas the regular zombies won't. The only zombies smarter than these guys and stronger are the ones that come out like in the dead of night, and those ones you want to avoid like the plague. I forget their name off the top of my head right now because I'm having a brain fart. I'm also feeling like I'm spinning my wheels fighting these guys. I'm just like, I'm spitting into the wind because these guys are kind of powerful and I feel like I'm severely underpowered. So I really don't know what to do about that other than just pray that I could get my sorry butt over there to the next drop so I can retrieve it here in the tunnel. Now I don't know if I have to, because I tried coming in here another time later on with Molotovs and they just kept coming. And pretty much at this point I don't want to just keep going at these guys like this, so I just said the heck with it. Yeah, I'm thinking you got to take out a bunch of them and run past that point, and maybe they'd stop. But I mean, right now I'm not gonna mess with that. I might even I don't know. I wanted to put this particular one off. I mean, there was one that I did in another video, which I'll put out later on, a lot later on, that I'll show you that I actually went through the parking garage with not too many problems. But then again, I've also had a higher level character too going through there, slightly higher level than what I am now. So, well, actually, no, not slightly. Well, anyway, you'll find out in the upcoming videos. So now we're trying to get Gazi's mom the movie Charlie, and also there's the box of chocolates, which I'll show you now. Unfortunately, what ended up happening with that is that when I originally had done it, there's a couple of parts they'll have to explain in the other videos because the videos that I had were messed up and I really didn't feel like having to play through it, so I can just go ahead and show you where that is. Now here's what I was talking about earlier about the hard lock picking. You're having to move it with when it's very hard, you got to move it in very small increments. I kind of got a little overzealous. And sometimes these can get a little glitchy too, believe it or not. At least that's what I believe. So we gotta go and try to at least get this to. It's like the cast of Thriller out here. Look at this. Woo-hoo. The only thing missing is Michael Jackson with that jacket he used to wear back in the day. So anyway. Come on, please. Please, dear Lord. There we go. Now, a lot of the time when you open up these vans like this, you'll find really good weapons, and also what you'll find is firearms, which are good, like the assault rifles and handguns. Sometimes you'll find bats, like the composite bat, the superior bats, baseball and cricket and all that, and really it's just, you know, you got it takes a little patience, but once you get the rhythm of how the lock picking works, it becomes second nature, very much like the control scheme. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump down here, go ahead and, well, hey, might as well pick this too while we're here. Anytime you come up against the lock like this, pick it, because you never know what's inside. It's always fun. And all little bits help, and really that's what it boils down to. So, some coffee is always appreciated. Believe it or not, coffee and cigarettes actually net you some pretty decent money if you get the what do you call it? If you sell it out. I mean, it's not like super big money, but it's enough money to where you get a nice little chunk of change from it. Alrighty. Oh yeah, bottle of hooch. You can't ever turn. You ever turn down a nice bottle of hooch? It's like Homer Simpson with beer. It's like, I know it's like the worst Homer Simpson impression, but you get the idea. Now here I went and I liberated the safe zone. Now, I wasn't paying attention to the runner that was behind me. I was looking at what was in front of me, so I almost bought it here too. And seriously pay attention to where those red arrows are on your mini-map. Because for the most part, those are your runners. I actually had no problem taking these guys out, believe it or not. I also fast forwarded through this a little bit. This way, you guys didn't have to deal with it. Now, one of the things that I made the mistake in doing was I got such tunnel vision that I couldn't. Well, not that I couldn't, but I'd forgotten to go and close the gate, which I could have actually dropped down and done, and would have kept the other zombies from coming in. But I ended up killing a whole mess of them. So that was my bad. But definitely, when you first come in here, try to get the zombies distracted that are already in here off to one side, and then close that gate so that this way you don't have to deal with any extras coming in. You don't want them coming in and just, you know, it's like it becomes monotonous. So it's like it's like in the train tunnel. It's like you're spitting into the wind. It really doesn't have that, you know, like it feels like you're doing anything progressing. So now we're gonna get this cleared out, and the gate closed, turn on the lights, and we'll be all right. And once we do that, everything will be all A-okay. So now here it is. Close the gate. Now, one of the things I didn't notice at first when I had done this was that there were 2 other zombies in here that I didn't realize were here, because after I went and got this open and put the fuses in, I was like, what's going on here? Couldn't understand why I didn't get the thing, so I said, let me go and explore a little bit. And I said, well, you know, here, let me go ahead and grab what they got here. Look at the carnage. So at any rate, and a lot of the time, like, it's my personal preference, but I'd rather when I have zombies like this, I'll go ahead and get up on top of a van like that and just whack away at their heads and, you know, just knock them out. Now, another thing you could do is, and I'll show you in a sec, if you can get them, if you can fight them by spikes, you can either kick them into the spikes, or you can kick them into fire. Believe it or not, I think there's a trophy for that. For kicking them on the spikes and into fire and having them die. So, see, this is where I found out. I was like, okay, a zombie, and then I was like, oh crap, 2. Well, I'll show you in a sec. See that spike, right? See the spike over here? The series of spikes that are right here in front of me? Well, if you can get them to fall into that after you hit them, that's another way you can do it. And that's one. Unfortunately, that wasn't via edit, but more because the video stopped. I had to restart it. See that? You hit him and he falls onto it, and then he's dead. And now the safe zone is unlocked, and we are going to be able to do what we got to do. So. Go over here now. Now, as I had stated earlier, any weapons that are broken and you can no longer repair, go ahead and break them down for the parts. And grab whatever metal parts you can. If you notice, I have some grays in there. Those I eventually ended up turning into parts. It was at the time that I had a bunch of them, and I just had forgotten them in there. Now, these little things right here that look like a little stereo icon are what's called random encounters. This is what's pretty cool. I'll go in and, like, you know, kind of. I like to go in and mess around with these random encounters every so often. But then again, you know, that's up to the individual. Put that right there. Now, if you've not played this game, Ghazi is a unique individual, to say the least, which you'll find out in a little bit. And when you go to see Ghazi, he's going to give you a quest called Mother's Day, where he makes you find some stuff for him. Just go in here real quick. Search any and all cabinets, refrigerators. And now with these particular doors, or any doors you can open, you should be able to close it. I would suggest closing them just so you don't give the zombies a way through. A lot of them are stupid and they don't know how to open a door.
It was 2 days before they sealed the city, and our job was to go door to door and find out who was still all right. So we'd knock on doors. Sometimes you'd hear a voice that sounded like a person. So you'd go in. Only it turned out it was a viral, all angry and crazy, just enough voice left to fool you. Sometimes they weren't alone. The suits are pretty tough. They're PVC with reinforced double-layered polyfiber core. We thought we were safe. Turned out the biters could chew right through it. Sometimes I see some of my old squad shambling around. gets me down to see them like that. You know the funny thing? They're all biters now, but they can't bite. Because they don't have the brains to take off their masks. I'll tell you, this whole thing is pretty damn strange.
So always check the baskets and whatnot. Now another thing that you want to do is if you're full on health, don't eat the food that's there, the power bars or whatever, because you may need them later on. I'm not saying they don't regenerate, but if you find a place that has it, you know, go ahead and leave it there if you don't need it, and just keep in mind that it's there, so you can get some health off of it. Now, after a while of running through the tunnels, through this area and whatnot, you'll gain an idea of how the zombies are going to be, like, where they're going to be standing around, so you'll be able to actually run around them. What I did was I kind of stood off to one side, let them get as close to me as they would, and I just kind of ran for it. And this, for me, worked for the most part. So now we're going to go over here to Ghazi's place. And as I said, he's, well, you'll see. Yeah.
If Mama ain't happy, nobody happy. So you better make Mama happy.
Ghazi?
Me too. We have the same name. Are you from the video store?
No, my name's Crane.
Crane? Crane rhymes with train, and brain, and sane, and grain, and rain, and plane, and the other kind of plane, and...
But can I come in?
No, no, it's impossible. Impossible. This is my special day with Mom. It's Mother's Day, and it's the most important day of the whole world. Are you from the video store?
Why do you keep asking me that?
Because you're supposed to bring my movie about me. It's called Charlie. And it's all about me. And how smart I am.
Look, Ghazi, if I bring you your movie, will you let me come in?
Sure. Then you could watch with us. It is Mother's Day. And if Mama ain't happy, nobody happy. Oh, and she also wants chocolate. Mama wants chocolate.
No, wait a minute, that's too much.
Don't argue with Ghazi. It doesn't work. That's what the drugstore people say.
Yeah, Rain Man is smarter than Ghazi. Okay? Just saying. Anyway. Well, here we go. We're going to go ahead and find... Let's see, go ahead and mark it. See, now there's the video store right here. And not too far... the video store's on the left with the chocolates on the right. Which I'll have to show you where the chocolates are, because when the video got messed up, I made sure to go by there again to at least show you guys where it's at and where to find the chocolates, which will be in the next video. So, and I'll show you some other stuff too that I had to do to finish up the quest with Ghazi. So we're going to go ahead and just generally follow the route that we did in reverse going through here. Now I realized when I ran up on the bus here that there's a bag. As soon as I walked in, there's a green bag right there that I just tapped again. And I ran out of the bus without checking the bag. Now a lot of these buses, you're going to have bags in there that's going to grab like some cash. Sometimes some gauze and whatnot. Now you can either jump from here into the safe zone, or because the safe zone has the razor wire all around, so you can't necessarily climb up on that. Another thing is that satellite dishes will get in the way, like right here, which is annoying as hell. Now another thing that, like I said this before, the targeting reticle, which is that white dot, Sometimes it's hard to judge with the white dot, like right there. I mean, I have an easier time with like an X as a targeting reticle than a dot, and I believe that Techland could have, Techland and Warner Brothers Studios could have come up with at least given us a choice as to what kind of reticle. I didn't see one in there. Now, if there was one in, and I didn't see it, then I apologize. But yeah, here's the video store right here behind me, one box. Now, as you can see, we have a ambulance and a police van here. We will, after we clear out the area, be picking the locks for them, because ambulances will always have med kits inside, either 1 or 2 med kits. And the police vans, as I said before, usually have some pretty nice stuff in there too, as far as like weapons and whatnot. This stage in the game, I don't believe I got a firearm from this just yet. However, I forget how long it takes for it to reset, but they do reset, and I think it's like an hour reset for it, where the doors will close and then they'll relock and there'll be something new in it. Sometimes you'll go past it like after like a half hour, the doors will be closed and they'll say open. If that happens, don't open it, leave it alone, and just keep on going. And just bear in mind where the ambulances and police vans are, so that this way, you can check them from time to time and be able to have the goodies within. Now, my strategy here was that, I wanted to take these guys out just from the top like I did the other ones. Now, a little something you guys need to know. These guys with the yellow suits, if you hit them and you see, you hear a noise coming from like a bunch of gas escaping at one time, get out of the way. Run from that. Try to shield yourself from it by either jumping behind the other side of a car and ducking down or whatever. But when these guys, when you hear that noise, they will explode. Now, on the upshot, when they explode, if there's any other zombies around them, they will they'll put a hurting on the other zombies. However, their explosion will bring runners too. So at any rate, folks, thank you for watching. It's getting to the end of the video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, you guys have a great night and an even better tomorrow. Good night, folks.